I think we should probably move on. There's just one more election thing. Because I was reading about the strain Theresa May appears to be showing. And it's interesting how the strain always gets to Prime Ministers, all of them. In fact, I'd say every British Prime Minister since the 1920s.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Has cracked.
Fucking hell.
Has cracked under
Do you
the
see
pressure
what
of
we have to
office.
go through?
Cracked under the pressure of office and gone a bit off beam. Even the current one. First signs of stress on our current Prime Minister. As early as Christmas, I'd say, when she went on a riding holiday, people started thinking she was losing it when she got things mixed up and started covering her horse with tinsel and fairy lights and tried to feed her Christmas trees some hay. But her predecessor...
Strike one!
Strike one. I wouldn't start, you'll run out unless you're good at counting. It's interesting, her predecessor as well, he fell victim to the strains of office. In fact, the German leader predicted his downfall. When he resigned after Brexit, Mrs Merkel was heard saying, "I knew this day would come around." Come around. Of course...
That is painful!
His predecessor in Downing, his favourite sandwich, he went a bit odd when it came to food. He started eating these bitter-tasting, fleshy vegetable sandwiches. He was very health-conscious, so he never ate white bread. Hated the fancy modern breads too, so he always ordered Gordon Brown.
You know it's coming. It doesn't make it any easier to process.
Before him, there was a guy. He started off fairly normal, but lost it over the years. Banned anyone in cabinet from wearing shorts or skirts because he became allergic to gradually looking up someone's leg. He used to vomit whenever he found his gaze travelling upwards from the foot towards the thigh. It really went toe, knee, bleh. His predecessor, of course.
I am embarrassed to say I enjoyed that one. I feel very embarrassed. I did enjoy that one.
I did say every British Prime Minister for the last 90 years. So I would pace yourself, Nish. His predecessor, of course, liked to make most of his policies while alone, but it's so hard to get quality me time as Prime Minister. I heard him in an interview saying he needed to, make his excuses and nip off to the toilet, get some peace and quiet. He said, and I quote, "I took most of my biggest decisions on the John, made you think more clearly." His predecessor
There's
was
been so many Prime Ministers. Bear in mind, we have not left the 1990s.
His predecessor, well, she was asked if there was anything she wished she'd done differently, and she said she'd like to have nicked one of the spare thrones from Buckingham Palace. "I regret that chair," she said. "I regret that chair."
All right, let's not get too down. At least we've wiped out 11 years with that one. We've jumped straight from that. There's the one good thing about Thatcher's entire time as Prime Minister is that she has taken 11 years out of this pun run.
The guy before her, he used to drink a lot of gin and tonics, of course, but he reckoned he could cure any hangover with some high-quality cured American pig leg. He called it his gin killer ham. Gin killer ham. Before him, look, you can check the list on Wikipedia. Before him, there was another Labour Prime Minister who used to calm himself down by singing this morbid ditty his mum used to sing about what she wanted to happen to her estate after she died. He used to bang it out in cabinet meetings, her old Wilson.
Right, now I want to put a stipulation in here because I know he was Prime Minister twice. Surely there is not a second bout of Harold Wilson.
Well, the Tory he replaced.
Oh,
He distracted himself by eating way too much confectionery. He ate so many sweets you have to have dentures made out of oak. Yeah, he had wood teeth. The guy he replaced, of course, very parsimonious with sporting equipment. He still used his granny's tennis racket. It was useless, but he loved his nan, so he insisted on using her old Wilson.
Now that is not acceptable.
His predecessor, in turn, went so mad that he was heard arguing with himself about what roast bird he'd rather have for his Sunday lunch. He would ask himself, which do you prefer, chicken or duck? And he would reply, "I like duck less. You? Oh, come on, for technical merit, surely. For effort, if not achievement. Alec Douglas Hume is a hard man to make a pun about.
When you started this, I did think he's going to hit Douglas Hume, and that is going to be his iceberg to his punning Titanic.
Yeah, but let's not forget the Titanic took quite a long time to sink. The one before...
This art will go on.
The one before The one before Douglas Hume, of course, he sold all of his wife's coats to make a bit of cheeky cash on the side. He got loads for them. Sold a duffel coat for 200 grand, an overcoat for 300,000, but the waterproof ones were the ones that really flew for money. Oh. He flogged her cagoule for 800,000, and as for her old Macmillan, the guy before him, he had this bizarre utopian dream of people walking around with dead straight legs. Very formal man. In fact, he wanted to ban all leg joints. He was obsessed with creating this anti-knee Eden. This anti-knee Eden.
That is structurally so similar to the Tony Blair one.
But, and the guy before him, famous Prime Minister, of course, went to pray. He used to go and pray in a really ancient Saxon chapel made only of rough blocks of granite. Even when he was really poorly and the doctors had told him to stay in bed, recover and keep warm. Yeah. He went to Stone Churchill. He went Stone Churchill.
That even they didn't enjoy that one.
Right, okay. Right. I mean, do we have to leave? I mean, I go right back to the 1920s. I mean, I could save them for the next one. I could pick it up. That's a treat.
This isn't an HBO box set. The Dyer.
I'll tell you what. Who wants me to... Let's do this by vote.
No, that is one thing we must not do. Who wants... The British public, you know that they cannot be trusted.
Who wants it to carry on? Who wants it to stop? Democratic mandate! Even on the first past the post, I've won that. Right. So, the next guy, he used to relax.
I hope you understand what the consequences are. I am Tim Farron to this pun run.
Wait. The last one is worth waiting for.
Okay.
Before... Work it out for yourself, it was in the 1920s. So the guy before Churchill, he went so mad, he used to go out and pick crustaceans on the rocks by the sea, but his advisors wouldn't let him. I want to look for mussels, he said. No, sir, we've got an NHS to establish. Well, I want to search for scallops then. Prime Minister, we've got a nation to heal after 6 years of war. Oh, come on. Let me go on a clam hunt at least. Clam hunt at least.
You've disrespected one of the greatest men to hold the office of Prime Minister.
Well, I still can't believe the previous guy went to Stone Churchill.
Even you can be bothered.
I can believe it, not two Churchill ones.
Just when I thought we'd never find the outer limits of your enjoyment of puns.
Anyway, of course, his predecessor got slammed for coming back from Munich with his so-called piece of paper. London was embarrassed about it, but not the German capital. They have Naffel Shame Berlin. Naffel Shame Berlin.
Very cool.
Does that work?
This is the opposite of peace in our time.
His predecessor, of course, had a sibling born on the same day. He suffered terribly from hair loss, though. He had this strange behavioural tic where whenever he got up from a seated position, he couldn't help himself jumping as high as he could. Yeah, it was his stand leap ball twin. And the guy before him...
Three more to go. Three more to go. The guy before
him got involved in a parliament. He went so mad. He got involved in an argument in parliament when the opposition asked him what he thought of fast food chains. He said, I hate them. I'd like to drive my car into them. And the leader of the opposition made it multiple choice. And this is straight from Hansard. He said, would you smash your car into A, Burger King, B, Kentucky Fried Chicken, or, and the Prime Minister interrupted, I can answer this already, I would ram C, McDonald's. Two to go.
You people are enablers. You're like, not that far back. You, not Disraeli.
Look, just because I'm Jewish, it doesn't mean... Right. The guy before him, of course, Nish, he went mad. He used to have this recurring dream in which he always woke up just as he was about to pot the decisive final black in the World Snooker Championships. I can't believe it, he says. He woke up sweating. Just needed one more ball to win again. But, and the previous guy, of course, like many Prime Ministers, was distracted from far more important legislation by his personal hobby horse. He became obsessed with passing a new law forbidding anyone from having a visible erection in public. He really wanted to pass his new boner law. That is it. Well, it picked up as they went along, I think.
definitely gained some momentum. That pun run is the most potent argument I've ever come across for no Prime Minister being able to run again.